Nana won't renew, so obviously I'm on some major list to get that Nana manga. This is a little closer to my face. I don't know if that's easier to hear. The egg lore. I can't believe that. I can't believe a single second of that, except yes I can. Because only the weirdest shit possible happens to me every single day. The weirdest possible thing could happen. If there's two roads in front of you, for some reason, unconsciously, I always take the weird one. And God forbid, and God help me. And if you got, so this is the jacket. Here's the jacket I'm wearing. It has like clouds there and some kanji I can't read. But here's the, that's the back. I'm wearing this for Robbie. Video game pizza! Happy Monday, everyone. Thank you. When I was younger, I used to do like skit comedy at sleepover parties, and I had this bit called Pizza Patty, and you'd go to her pizza shop, and I just opened my bedroom door and put like a little half partition there, and you'd come up and order it. You know, when you're a kid. No, my egg is perfect. So happy with it. Cleans, no more litter. You should change reviews since I am happy with product. Remember the one review where it was like, this egg has financially ruined me? I was cleaning the litter boxes yesterday and just remembered how that egg financially ruined that man. And I couldn't help but think of the circumstances in which financial ruin occurs. But I think those litter boxes are like $400. So that, yeah, checks out. I will never financially recover from this. So, yes, my nails are done. And I want to talk about it. Because, okay, where do I even begin? So earlier this week, you might remember from Friday's stream, and if you missed it, my basement flooded because of a hole in my roof. And while that makes no sense to me, it might make sense to you. Okay, I thought I was out of focus. So, apparently there was just a couple holes in my roof. John had patched the roof last year for quarantine. John patched the like front half of our roof. But I guess the back half of our roof started to take in water, and all of that water comes directly into the soffit that like comes out, like those pipes and stuff that come out of your roof. They're usually like little white pipes or they're silver. All of those pipes, some of those pipes will go into your basement, and that's where all of that piping kind of lives, like in your floor. And usually those pipes live in soffits in your house. Kind of these jut out wall pieces. You can't see. Like these walls that kind of interrupt your feng shui is usually where soffits live. And those generally travel all the way to the basement and up to your roof. So water was getting in my walls and down into my basement. So John and his helper from work, I wish there was a better name. As a shampoo girl, I just feel bad calling him John's assistant? Helper? What has more prestige? Helper or assistant? The carpenter's assistant? The carpenter's shampoo girl. I guess it's his apprentice, but there's no formal relationship. His understudy? Apprentice? His coworker? His protege? I guess I'll say assistant. I guess in carpentry world, it's usually called helper. I don't like that. That's my own problems. So his helper actually came over this weekend to help John with the roof, which is really nice because it would have been me up there. So his assistant came and helped him, which was really nice. So I have been really neglecting a ton of stuff in my life, and I feel really disenchanted with self-care. Like, I think it became really commodified, and as someone who grew up punk, I'm very suspicious of any commodity for no good reason. Like, I didn't wear the color pink for 10 years, or smile in photographs. So self-care, I feel like, just became something that, like, a couple indie people on Tumblr presented to one another in a positive way, and now it's buying soap. So John was up there working on the roof, and I kind of became indirectly really inspired, or really kicked it into gear, and I just started cleaning my house. I haven't done a really good deep clean since John's birthday party, and that is, like, okay, and it's not okay. Like, I'll vacuum the rug for a quick 10 minutes, or I'll tidy up the kitchen for a quick 10 minutes, but it hasn't been a deep clean since then. Because, I don't know, you ever cleaning, and it makes you really, really mad, and by the time you're done, you're not satisfied? Like, by the time you're done, you're like, there, enjoy it. Enjoy your clean fucking litter box, Ethan. Sometimes I clean for a few hours and it pisses me off. I get really pissed that the house gets so dirty. It puts me in a really bad mood. It doesn't satisfy me. At the end, I feel like I've just done a ton of labor. When I lived by myself, at the end of it, I was like, you fucking pig. You just make a mess, and then I have to clean it. And when you live with your partner, you pick up a lone sock, this is a scrunchie, and you're like, he just fucking left this here for me to pick up, right? For me to pick up. I become someone else when I clean. Meanwhile, I have 50 pairs of Crocs underneath my couch right now that John just walks over. So yesterday when he was working on the roof, that is, I think it just, like, maybe there was a mental trade-off, or just finally, I just was like, what have we been doing here? I started straightening up, then I started cleaning, and then I felt really satisfied, really motivated to keep cleaning. I cleaned, I made the boys, like, a really healthy lunch, and, like, packed it and brought it up to the roof for them, and brought them water bottles, and I just kept cleaning, and I felt really good about it. I cleaned my rug, and I cleaned, like, all my upholstery. Like, it wasn't just, like, let's vacuum. I was, like, scrubbing. I actually have, I don't know if you can see my thumb. I broke all of my nails, so this is, I had to give myself a manicure. I broke all my nails off. So my couch has a removable cover, but some aspects of the couch have to be completely disassembled to remove the cover. So there's a few parts of the couch where you can remove the cover without taking the couch apart. So I took those covers off and I washed them, and putting them back on gave me, like, rug burn. Me with my roommates, literally me with my partner. I feel like self-care got warped, and it's just capitalism targeting people's insecurities, but repackaged for young people now. Existence is hard. Haven't swept or mopped in over a month and got it done this weekend. Hell yeah. Every time I clean the cat box. How about when the laundry basket is right there and they leave their clothes next to it instead? Ooh, that's me. That's John leaving that comment right now. He gets so upset. But I tell him sometimes I only wear an outfit to stream, so it's not dirty or soiled because I just sat in it and then changed into my pajamas. So I can wear the stream outfit again tomorrow, so I just leave it right here because it's not quite dirty yet. But I'm against the idea of having a chair because I'm better than that. So I have a pile. I find a sock and it's always mine. My dog steals them and scatters them around. Lena Norms just made a video on YouTube about capitalist self-care. Like doing things that will actually help your future self not to be stressed. Yes, let's get into it. There are many varying shades of dirty laundry. Did the Bronco get fixed? No. No, maybe. Let's talk about it. There's no dull moments. That's almost it. It's almost it. What is it focusing on? Why can't you dig in the basket without spilling? I can't. No, nobody can win in my household because I think I make a mess, but I also like the way I clean, so nobody wins. I'm the person with the clothing chair. Focusing on that fit. True. So cleaning my house was definitely self-care in a way that I haven't done it in a while, and I also haven't done it in a way that satisfies me. And I think that's often because I'm cleaning by myself and I'm cleaning up after others, which I'm in a position where I have the personality type that likes to give care. If someone comes over, I'm like, can I make you something to eat? Like, I can't undo that. That's like who I am. If I see like a little, if everyone's talking and someone hasn't talked for a while, like, I'm like, what, did you have something to say? Like, Watermelon Heart, thank you for subscribing. Princess, thank you. No one wins with cleaning, but staying subscribed is a win. Thank you. Poetry. Thank you, Princess. Yeah, so I think, like, I am very inclined to clean my home and keep it a clean space so people can gather and come to my house and feel cozy and clean and not smell cats. But I think I have a hard time because of, I don't know, conditioning from Tumblr about labor exchange and emotional labor exchange and stuff like that. Sometimes when I'm cleaning the house, I feel, I don't know, it doesn't feel fair. But I don't know where that really comes from because I have like our relationship has great balance. I think it's just like something really psycho that happens after I'm cleaning for a while. Like, I know it's like a psycho thing. I think because John was on the roof, I think there was a really nice sense of balance because he was working on the house, he was doing his best, he was up there really happy. Sometimes when John and I are like fixing something, he can have a little short fuse, like if we're building IKEA furniture. So the vibes were just really good, and I also feel like I haven't taken really good care of myself for a while. Like, I've neglected a lot of things, and I feel so stubborn. Wonderful, thanks for following. Like, feeling really stubborn because of the unfair, maybe, balance of me cleaning. Although I don't feel that way. It's tough. Cleaning just, like, sets me off. But I don't like that. I want to come to tidying up in a positive way. So I think a lot of it is just, you know, it's hard to do and it requires hard decision making, and I just have a really hard time lately making hard decisions. And some of that is like, we have a coat rack and there's clearly like backpacks and coats and stuff that none of us use. So when I'm tidying up the coat rack, I'm like, should I get rid of this backpack? And now I'm making a hard decision, and now I'm burning out really, really quickly. And the fuse is just like, John was on the roof, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna clean, and I'm gonna do stuff I haven't done for a while. Like, I got those like Edison bulb, those like trendy like string lights. I got those from my living room and like a year ago. And I haven't hung them up yet. We have a little shelf in our living room that has been organized the same way since I put the shelf up, with like different VHS and stuff like that. I took all of that stuff down and dusted it and rearranged it. I've had some prize figures from round one that I haven't even taken out of the box yet, so I put some stuff up there. I put some of my manga up there that I would love John to read, and it's just a new, everything is just nice. I really vacuumed like the cat tree and stuff. I don't know, I felt really, really good about it, and I never feel good about it. I feel exhausted, as I explained. Although I don't love that about myself. I'd rather fix it and not be a huge bitch after I clean. We have those like litter mats that are like, I don't know, like coral reef. They're like, they're supposed to collect litter, and they have a bunch of like porous to collect, but they're really fucking hard to get the litter out of when you want to clean. And I remember I was outside like spraying them with a hose and like beating them on the sidewalk, and John got home from work and he was like, "Hey, how was your day?" And I was like, "Don't talk to me. Did you think these litter mats were a good idea?" I'm kidding. But that's how I felt. Yesterday cleaning was so nice. I haven't been up on the roof. I don't know. I figure the boys did a good job and fixed the problem. But I felt really satisfied with the amount of work I did at my house. And once I was done, I didn't like collapse into the couch. I was like ready to keep going. And that is kind of where I'm going to with self-care. So I haven't taken a bath in a long time. I actually confess to you guys that like taking a shower is like really tedious to me as of late. Like I get in there and I'm like, oh god, this takes forever. You know what I mean? I think it's kind of hard in a hetero relationship to not have the "it's not actually my job to clean up after you" feeling not come up, even if your partner is great and does stuff too. Yeah, it's tough. And like peak Tumblr feminism, I read every single thing on the hashtag, and some of it is hot takes and some of it's fucking toxic, and there is toxic feminism. So I think I read a ton of stuff about like labor exchange in relationships that it's not like a blanket statement for every single relationship. So sometimes I do get caught up and I'm like that. And then other times, cleaning is tough and it's my mess too. And like I said, I have a really hard time. I get really burnt out on making hard decisions. I've talked to John about this and he'll laugh. He's like, yeah, I know. So it's definitely something that is recognized and forgiven, but it still really burns me out. If I had to do something hard later, I would feel really burnt out. Yeah, dude, I feel like I have internalized some toxic feminism that I'm trying to unlearn. Something will pop up in my brain and I'm like, ew, why did you think that? Yeah. It was probably nice to feel like you were both doing something hard, but the vibe was happy, invigorating, and self-motivating instead of holding the flashlight wrong energy. Yeah. Decision fatigue is a real thing. It's tough to be the manager of your life and house. It's really tough. So after John was done with the roof and stuff, he went to skate, and I just kept tidying up, and a lot of it was like, let's keep going until we can't anymore. And it was really nice. Sometimes I can only do stuff for like an hour, aka cleaning out my closet. And I told myself, yeah, like an hour is fine. But it was cool to keep going because I organically wanted to. When John got home from skating, I made him something to eat, and then I took a bath. And I was somebody who loved, like, the rise of beauty on YouTube. It was kind of parallel to me being in beauty school, so it was really fun for me, and it had a lot of benefits, like watching tutorials, like beauty tutorials, and every other person in cosmetology school was drinking that Kool-Aid as well. And I will say, in my beauty school program, there wasn't a huge focus on makeup application, but cosmetology license kind of is an umbrella for all of that, so it was nice to know that stuff. Peak beauty YouTube, I was on it. I was, buying the latest body scrub and fucking eyebrow and all this. And, it was a lot of fun to do it. And I kind of thought my fall from grace with all of that was the decline in the beauty interest on YouTube in general. Which I wonder, what was the nail in the coffin on all that? If it was drama, if it was lost interest, if it was because we all became makeup artists for a second there. I don't really know. I kind of thought that is what disenchanted me from practicing beauty rituals. I think that, and a combination of just self-care becoming a commodity and not a true self-interest that you come to organically. Self-care then became Sally Hansen, self-care. Give yourself a mani-pedi because you love yourself, right? Then I was like, whoa. Do I? I haven't taken a bath in a really long time because I think it takes too long. I ran a bath yesterday because I was like, okay, girly, you just cleaned this whole house. Let's relax. Let's relax. I got in the tub and immediately, dried off my hands to go on my phone. And I was like, this is boring. It's boring in here. Like I said, it takes too long. This is a long time. This is a lot of water. And then, something in my mind was just, you can't keep treating yourself this way. You can't keep treating yourself this way. You have to do something. You have to change. Something in you has to change. Something happened, probably literally the global pandemic, and the earth is on fire. But something made you stop taking care of yourself. And you can't blame it on YouTube, and you can't blame it on Sally Hansen. And you can't blame it on Lush Cosmetics. Something inside of me demotivated myself to take care of myself. I put my phone away because I was like, it's bath time, bitch. But don't we all do that, You settle in and then go on your phone. I put my phone away and I was like, I'm gonna exfoliate. How about that? How about I take care of my body? I haven't done it in so long. I haven't felt value in doing it. I mean, I see on Twitter that you should wash your legs, but I haven't felt value in the process, so I skip it. Because I'm like, whatever, I'm clean. But I thought about, when you were in high school or middle school and you started shaving your legs, and you'd fucking stick your leg up and you'd tell your friend, my leg is so smooth, touch it. Or you'd be like, ooh, so smooth, I don't, it's not, your parents would probably tell you not to shave your arms, but we would all shave our arms, and we would be like, ooh, it's so smooth. Feel my arm, feel my arm. There was no social media. It was just little, I don't know. I have all these cosmetics too that I don't use. I use bar soap, shampoo, and conditioner, and I get out. So I was like, I sat in the tub and I did a deep exfoliate. Then I did a cream wash. Then I shaved my arms. I haven't done it in so long. My tattoos are vibrant, bright, kind of. They could use a touch up. But it was so nice. Then I got out of the shower and I gave myself a mani-pedi, which I haven't done in a really long time. I stopped painting my nails entirely during pandemic because I was like, there's no point. Even though having, like, painted nails makes me feel happy, I kind of told myself that was a little trivial. I was like, that's what makes you happy? Is that what makes you happy? Not a roof over your head? No. So it was like, why did I trivialize these things? Like, that's so mean. So, like, mean to myself. I thought, like, why haven't I prioritized this in a long time? Why haven't I taken care of myself? Ingrid Sarah, thanks for following. Yeah, so for a moment I felt really sad that I haven't taken great care of myself for a while and that I kind of let it happen. But then I kind of pushed through it and made sure to, like, yeah, I don't know, clean my whole body and just kind of take care of myself. I don't know. A whole new person. We all have a mean Twitter troll in our heads that needs to be blocked. That's really weird. It's true. Sometimes, I think a lot of YouTubers do it. You'll hear them do it, especially now that I pointed it out. YouTubers will think of the mean comment that will be produced from their action and then say it, so it almost, like, counters it, like it won't happen. YouTubers do it a lot in their videos. They'll be like, and before you say, and before you go to the comments and say. Like, I do it too. And it kind of sucks because it means you're already thinking about the thing, someone criticizing you. And if you do it to your content, you also might be at the grocery store and be like, ooh, I shouldn't get white bread. I should get wheat. You know what I mean? I'm not even a YouTuber, and I do that a bit in real life. Yeah. Did we already have the TikTok? No. No, we haven't yet. So I wanted to talk about how, yeah, I haven't been taking really good care of myself, but not in a really obvious way. Like, I'm still rather, like, high functioning, and I'm clean, and I practice hygiene, but it's not because I care about myself. It's because it's routine, it's obligation, I don't want to stink, it's like base level, like, I'm this clean, I'm wearing makeup, here we go. But, the intention was off, and I felt kind of bad about it. I'm hoping coming to this realization just clarifies some things for me, or just makes life a little more pleasant or happy to live. It was nice to pick up my phone and be like, oh, I'm going to take this dumbass bath. What's going on Instagram? And then I was like, this isn't relaxing. This isn't making me relax. It's stressing me out. Lots of things at play here. Social media, self-care, industry, Self-Care Inc. And I guess some roles in relationship, but honestly, I think I've been so miserable about cleaning my house because I don't give a fuck about myself. And it's unconscious. Like, I'm not on Twitter like, I'm the dumbest bitch alive every day. I think it was a lot more unconscious, which I feel like is a lot more dangerous because it's a slippery slope. When you're like, oh, good enough. It's kind of sad. I wanted to get back to the root of the intention of, for me, what it means to exfoliate and shave and feel smooth and stuff like that. Like, what that means to me. I know that's not universal, But there might be something that you've neglected to do that brings you back to that like core sense of just a connection with your physical self, which can be really tough. We spend a lot of time as our digital self. And I think that's another really easy way to neglect your body, your office, your litter box. And I also don't exercise. So taking a little walk is great. We took a walk along the Schuylkill River Trail last week, and I really, really loved it. That is kind of a trail. It sounds like a wooded trail, but it's not. It's a very urban public walk along the riverside. But that was really nice. I would like to continue to do nice stuff for myself because I enjoyed it. And I felt pretty bad that I've neglected it for so long, very unconsciously. Part of my therapy was making time to figure out what helped me relax and making time to do it. Some of it was really boring, like having a good sleep schedule, but it can feel a little silly just setting good foundation. Yeah. I can definitely relate. A lot of the time, even basic hygiene stuff feels hard due to my mental health. Same goes for cleaning and stuff, yeah. I'm in this video and I don't like it. Neglecting your body can be really a very harmful form of self-sabotage. You don't really notice, yeah. It's so hard to slow down when we are used to being overstimulated constantly, yes. Going on walks is very good for you, the brain and the body. So I'm hoping to just implement some of that. It's September soon, which is like really tripping me out, but I'm really looking forward to it. I don't know. The summer also has a lot of expectations, and I haven't met any of them, so I felt really guilty. I haven't gone to the beach. I haven't swam either. But in my defense, we swim in a river, and I was worried about water going up my nose. And giving me an infection. So that was kind of my thought process yesterday, and I felt really good about it. I didn't sleep for shit last night, but I felt like it put me in a pretty good place. I also I don't know if anyone else does this. When you get home from work, or like your partner gets home from work, you kind of just park yourself on the couch and watch your regular shows or whatever. We do that every night, and I value that time together, and I actually prioritize it, so I don't do anything else. So even yesterday, after John and I had lunch together, I was like, I'm gonna go do my nails. And he was like, yeah, sure. But normally I would have just sat there with him, because I'm like, we're spending time together. So it was nice to also break away from that as well. Have you been doing any crafts lately? That could be helpful in slowing yourself down and sitting with yourself instead of playing on your phone. I crochet and it really helps me. Yeah, I need to really get back into it. Like I said, I haven't been doing a lot of stuff that is like good for me. So I'd love to focus back on that. I haven't done any summer stuff either. It sucks, but honestly, I was just afraid of crowds since everyone is out and about these days. That's what it is, you know. That's what it is. I would have had a New York day because I'm really, really craving it. Justine and I were going to go to New York, and it's just tough with scheduling, but I would have gone by myself anyway. Like, other years past, I would have been in New York, like, a couple times. And although New York is hot as fuck in the summer, there's just something about that experience of just, like, sweating through all your clothes and then freezing in the megabus that is, like, very summer to me. It's also very easy to get to Coney Island. Even if you're starting in Philadelphia, if you're starting in Boston, I don't know, you'd probably need a hotel. But it's really easy to get to Coney Island. So you could have a beach day as well. People might be like, don't swim in that water, but you'll be alright. I totally fell off recently too, TBH. I feel like COVID fatigue has made it hard to stay motivated. Yeah. I wanted to talk about that a little bit. Just to kind of put it out there, because, yeah, it was like, I haven't been taking great care of myself, but I didn't notice. Big self-care. Self-care Inc. I was like, what do you mean? I use a bath bomb. I'm okay. But, yeah, it's not about using a fucking bath bomb. Oh, Jesus, sorry. It's really not about using a bath bomb. It's about taking out the trash when it's full. That's the other thing. Self-care became very clearly defined, when before it was just a feeling. Grim, thanks for following. Or self-care, should we have never defined self-care? Because now it feels like an obligation instead of just like an intangible, just a nuanced, like, I don't know. Like, oh yeah, the towels should go in the wash. Now someone's like, that's great. You're really taking care of yourself by putting the towels in the wash. I feel like so much of everyone's energy has been focused on literally surviving a global pandemic, and just now we maybe feel as if we got a handle on it and can refocus on ourselves. That's really good. Self-care quickly developed into buying shit, and that kind of yucks me out. Yeah, it really yucked me out. And I'm so suspicious that unconsciously I was like, no, girl. No unicorn bath set. I see right through this. Self-care became very aesthetic when it could be ugly. Yes! 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 Oh my god, that's everything. Yes, it's not a hashtag. Like, truly. That's it. That's really it. Self-care is vacuuming your car. Bitch. Yeah. That's everything. Yeah, I think I became, like, really lost from that concept. Yeah, I feel like I got brainwashed by self-care as capitalism. Yeah, and then if you reject that idea, suddenly you're fucking not wearing deodorant for 8 months. I forgot the outer self-care and my environment suffers so much. Yeah. I feel like there's a ton of pressure to have the most fun summer. Every summer, especially after last year and a half, literally dreading going back to school to set up my classroom and have to answer other teachers asking, so what did you do? And I slept a lot and got tattooed and cooked some cool stuff. Sorry I didn't climb a mountain or go to a million festivals. That's tea. Yeah, I saw something on Twitter that was like, don't ask me what I did during quarantine. And I was like, that's true. As someone who hasn't folded their laundry in over a year, this combo is motivating me. Just cleaned my car after a year. Goodness, yes. It's hard when it was so much to do. My self-care was finding roller skating and loving it. That's what's up. Quarantine pressure. Reframing the idea of self-care is getting me so hype. I vacuumed my car 2 days ago. I did my dishes. Wow. I did so much self-care already. That's what's up. It's hard for me to remember that self-care doesn't always look like productivity. Sometimes it's laying in bed and playing Animal Crossing. That's what's up. Yeah. Making self-care an aesthetic ruined everything. Not to say, though, that you can't celebrate it, but I think that there's a much larger, there's just something much larger at play. Nothing to do with you as an individual doing whatever you want, even if it's branded self-care, even if it's cliche self-care. I think, at the same time, something much larger just made it so much more boding. Started to feel better when I realized self-care wasn't about appearing well put together, but other people, but actually being able to take care of my needs, even if they might not meet expectations from other people of me. That's weird. I think it's important to note, too, that self-care was established by Black feminists and support of about self-reflection and learning from internal toxic behaviors, self-work, not just consumerism. Absolutely. It started as something really well-mannered, and just became commodified, like, very quickly afterwards. Some people were just learning about self-care as it was being commodified. So some people's experience of self-care is only the branded one. So you can't even go back to what you previously believed was self-care. You've only ever experienced the highly branded one. And it's true. Some sponsorships I have with companies won't be like, vibe it like self-care. And you're like, oh, okay, self-care is a good thing. Greenwashing. Pink washing. Bubble bath bomb washing. Reading smut is self-care. There we go. It's right there. Ooh. Yakuza Lover Book 2 pre-order comes out in September if y'all pre-ordered it. BTW. Really good points. During the pandemic, I got a six-pack, started only eating grass, opened 30 small businesses, and ran the same distance to the moon. Productivity, CEO of my life, MLM, buy my online course. That's what's up. Honestly, motivation porn. You dropped your crown, king. So not everything this weekend was a dramatic realization. Some parts of this weekend were an absolute nightmare. What did we do Friday? Friday we streamed. Oh, on Friday, John worked on the Bronco. He did something, and he had me sit outside and help him, and he had to use this piece of hose, and I was like, I really need to chew on that hose, and he didn't even give me a little piece. That was Friday. Your post about that, I want to chew it. Forbidden chews. He worked on the Bronco, kind of late into Friday, so then on Saturday he said there was a couple pieces for the Bronco he needed the next day. The way you get parts for your cars if you work on them is, like, you'll go to an AutoZone, which is a chain store in the States. You'll go to AutoZone, and almost like a library, you'll talk to someone at a computer and you tell them the make and model of your car and the part you're looking for, and they go in the back of like all these rows of shelves to the ceiling of like parts, and if they come back and they don't have your part, they send you to another AutoZone. So sometimes John can be working on something for like an hour, or it takes him all day because he has to go to like 5 AutoZones. I woke up Saturday and there was a Comic-Con in Dover, Delaware. If you guys were at it, definitely holler. It sounded really cute. So it was an outdoor comic convention hosted at the Dover Library. It was like my dream event, but it was only for like 6 hours one day. So Friday night, I was like, I really want to go to this Dover Comic-Con. It sounds really cute. It's free. It's outdoors. It's safe. Dover, Delaware is only 2 hours from here. The Comic-Con that comes to Philly is indoors, and it's very aggressive, and it's expensive. This could be cute. John was like, if I finish working on the Bronco, we can go. And he didn't finish working on the Bronco in time, so he felt bad. Disturbed that there are people who did not want to chew on the Chewy tube. Not even a piece outrageous. Is that a hose to fix the stink? The rich running stink. I don't know. Yeah, I guess. I watched him install it, but I don't know what it did. He did change his filter. He changed his filter, but didn't, like, afterwards change his oil, so I don't know. Rock Auto often has the best prices and parts nobody else carries. I wonder if we have one. There's not currently one in PA. Oh, okay. Is there a mask mandate where you're at? Yes. The mask mandate went into effect on Friday. All the goofy goobers online and in the comment section of my public library had a lot to say, but I don't see those people at the library. So fuck off. Leave the library alone. Also, I want my public library social media job, so don't fuck it up. What, is that just a Philly thing? Probably. The campaign is Mask Up Philly, so yes. Mask mandates are back, baby, and they are met with some hesitation. Not me, though. I've been wearing them the whole time. Just in Philly, I was in Lock Haven over the weekend, and nobody there was masked. Just Philly that I know of. I'll show you. It's a sin. Our mayor's Instagram is just fucking trashed. I'm tempted to leave a comment that was like, I hope you're having a good day, mayor. That might seem aggressive. That might seem fake. It was my tone. Hope you're having a good day, mayor. Hope you're having a good day, mayor. Wouldn't it be funny if the city deleted it? Did they? Here it is. Beginning August 12th, you must wear a mask in Philadelphia, while indoors unless proof of vaccination is required for entry, at non-seated outdoor events with 1,000 plus attendees. I don't really know what that means. I guess for like the Phillies game. That August 12th, so that was Friday, right? The free library just posted this. And you can see I liked it. That's Philly. Makes no difference to me. Mayor, good day. We just compliment the mayor. I don't know much about him, but everybody shits on him every single time he speaks. So, if one person was nice to him on social, I think you'd stand out. From Georgia, and everything is terrifying. I'm so sorry. I'm from the UK and really wish things were safer here. Do you get much UK news over there? Only if it's trending. I get most of my news from Twitter and the Philip DeFranco show. Other than that, I only consume local news. Like hyper local. So we missed the chance to go to Dover Comic-Con. It doesn't sound like anybody else from the chat went either, but it sounded really cute. Candy Corpse had a booth there. A lot of us know who that is. Do I have any of her accoutrements on the desk? I feel like I do. You know Candy Corpse. You know who I'm talking about. So that was cute. The anime figure store that I went to in Delaware, they had a booth there, which is really cute. But I didn't go. But it sounded like a really cute opportunity. So if you live in Delaware, something to keep in mind for maybe next year. Are you playing The Forest today? I don't think so. But we can play tomorrow if you're into it. So instead of going to Comic-Con, this is how the rest of our day went. So John had to get parts for the Bronco, and he went to an AutoZone. They didn't have it. They sent him to another AutoZone, and he said that one was just like really understaffed, and the people in the line were getting really aggressive. And he said the one guy kind of snapped on him in line, so he left. Which is fine. He said he was in this long line, and in front of him was just a car battery just on the floor. And then the person was like, next in line. And John was like, am I next in line? And a guy came up and he was like, that's my spot. That's my battery. Can you watch it for me? And John was like, no. I'm going to go home. So John came home and he couldn't fix the Bronco the way he wanted. And since it takes 2 hours to get to Delaware, we wouldn't have made it to Comic-Con. So we didn't go. So John was like, okay, I'm going to take you to Atzion Lake. So Atzion Lake, I guess, is a part of the Pine Barrens, which is in New Jersey. The Pine Barrens are famous for the Jersey Devil. The Jersey Devil is supposed to live in the Pine Barrens. I don't know what the Jersey Devil is, like a little animal. So we were going to go to the Pine Barrens. We used to go like every week. I think I told you guys, we used to go like every week, but a kid drowned there. So now there's like a police presence. We went there with my plumber to get drunk. And, who's the cop in the forest? Who's the cop that is in the parks? Rangers. So, we were in the Pine Barrens getting drunk with my plumber, and the park rangers came, and they confiscated our beer. So we haven't really been back. So when he floated that idea, I was like, oh my god, yeah, let's go. So it was a trick, because there's an old train bridge past Atzion Lake. And John wanted to look at the old train bridge. But I was like, hey, that's cool. Whatever, let's do it. So we drove to the Pine Barrens, which is like it's like a thick wooded area. It's like kind of unique because of the soil in New Jersey. It creates this really unique, in my opinion, like forest that doesn't feel like any forests or wooded areas in Pennsylvania. It's really cool. And the floor of the forest is all pine needles, but, really fairly long ones. It's a tinderbox, honestly. A little cig out the window. I think it would ignite. Although, the area is, pretty wet. Robbie would know. So, we park up. A lot of the times when we were in the Pine Barrens, we would... Boris, thank you for subscribing. Just in time. Just in time. No, I'm dumb. Usually when we're in the Pine Barrens, we're either swimming in the lake or we'll do the trails, the mud truck trails. So we actually got out We got into the woods past Atsion Lake, which is a public lake you could swim in with, I believe, a lifeguard. Kind of cool. But if you go past that area and just fucking drive into the woods, you're just on dirt, mud trails. So we park up, and John's like, I think the train bridge is right up here. So we get out, and we walk directly into the woods where there's no path. And he's right, there's train tracks. Pretty quickly after we walk in. So, before we got in, I braided my hair really tight and put on a hat, and I actually had a long sleeve on. And pants, socks, sneakers. John took off his shirt and was wearing Carhartt's thick canvas pants, sneakers. We're walking along the train tracks to get to the train bridge, and I'm kind of beaming. I really haven't had a moment in a while, so I was like, oh my god, I'm like in the woods. I'm having like weird... I've been playing The Forest, that game, like kind of non-stop. So I'm looking at plants and I'm like, oh my god, they have so much value. Oh, that tree would give me 3 sticks in game. But also I'm like happy that we're doing something fun. There's a park in like outside of Philadelphia called the Wissahickon, and I've been wanting to go, but the park like services Philadelphia, so it's really thrashed. There's like a ton of litter. It's like a very weird experience. It's hard to feel like it's an immersive experience when you're walking around and there's graffiti on trees. But I've been wanting to go. So it was nice to really be somewhere completely alone in the woods. A very authentic experience. John took me to some quarry and there was like graph on a turtle, and I was like, take me home. We literally left. I saw graffiti on a turtle and I was like, home. Take me home. We were walking in the woods for like 5 minutes, walking alongside the train track, and I looked down and there's all these brown little dots on my shoe. I thought it was pollen. I was like, oh, okay, that's crazy. Because the floor of the woods in New Jersey, it almost feels like if you kicked up enough dirt, it would be sand underneath. But on top is just a layer of pine needles, but they're dry and almost soft to walk on. So you're not running into like a lot of pricker bushes or whatever. It's kind of just lone standing trees. It really is like a Dr. Seuss kind of experience. I really like it. It really trips me up. I like it a lot. And the rivers from like the cedar wood like look like iced tea. But if you say something cheeky about it being iced tea on your Instagram, a bunch of men correct you. I look down and I think it's like pollen or something. I'm like, what is this? There was so much of it on my shoe. It wasn't just like the outer... It wasn't just like the outer rim of my shoe. It was like the whole top of my shoe was just this brown dots, like dirt, pollen. I look down and it's also carried up my pant leg, kind of right above the ankle and then down. So I look and one second. This is my Instagram. So I look down and see on my pants, it kind of just looks like, some dirt. You know, you can even see some cat hair, so you're like, this is just a filthy bitch. I look and kind of see all this on myself, and see the forest floor is like fucking sand. In New Jersey, it's really unique. I'm looking and I'm like, what is all this? And you can see them moving. So I was like, this isn't pollen. This is after I had shaken them all off of my shoe. I was scraping them off my shoe with bark. Like fucking a maniac. So I see my pant leg, and immediately I'm like, John, look. And he looks at his foot. He's like, oh, I have it too. I want to be back here. So he's like, oh yeah, I have them on my feet too. And I'm scraping them off my foot with bark, and I hold it up, and I'm like, they're ticks. They're ticks, and we're covered in them. He's like, it'll be alright. And we take like 3 more steps, like towards our goal. And I just start I just lose it. I'm like, no, they're ticks and we're covered in them. And I turn around and I start basically running to the car. And I hear John, I guess, take it more seriously. And I hear John go, these are ticks. We're running to the car. John a little less serious. I get to the Bronco and I just take off all my clothes. We're covered in them. Like, you saw that picture of my pant and it kind of just looked like maybe some mud or like pollen had brushed up on us. We were covered in ticks. I wonder if I have a photo that shows my shoe. No, you can't really see my shoe in this. No, I'm itchy. So I run back to the Bronco and I take off all my clothes. And John is like, he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm covered in ticks. Ticks. They have Lyme disease. Ticks. Since the floor is sand, I like rub my shoes in the sand. I had taken them off. I was barefoot. I took off all my shit. So by us, it wasn't like a lake. It was almost like not a pond, not a puddle. Like when people like go mudding in the woods, sometimes they drive in an area over and over and over and over again, and then when it rains, the groove is so deep that it becomes like a giant puddle from like their tires or whatever. But there were frogs in it, so nature finds a way. I ran into this motherfucker and I washed my body like knees down. I put my pants, my socks, my shoes, my hat, my long sleeve just in this fucking puddle, just like a maniac, just like fucking just like ugh. I was covered in ticks. There has been a big debate about whether they were ticks or not, and I have to say the ticks that were on us are called seed ticks. So, do we have lag? Super lag. Okay, can you guys refresh for me? I'm gonna check. Okay, I'm gonna run an ad. Maybe my internet will do a little better in a minute. Yeah, it does say a little bit of poor network connection over here. Refresh, still getting lag. Okay. Lagging after the refresh. Poopy. Okay, how does it seem now? Where is this hair coming from? Oh my god. Ew. TikTok, I'm dead. Okay, how's that now? Sorry, we had a little lag. Refresh, help me. Okay, some have refreshed. I refreshed as well. Girl, I'm sorry the leg is my fault. I chewed on your wires. Okay. I'm sorry. I can try and troubleshoot it a little more. Oh wait, didn't we take the Wi-Fi out of my computer? Oh no, I can't switch between networks. I could switch networks, but I'm pretty sure we took the, like, Wi-Fi card out of my computer. It's working now? Seems stable. I still have an unstable read on mine. Oh, wait, no, it's back. Okay, cool. We're back at excellent. Okay, very good. Okay. Cool, 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 cool. I'll use this time to post on IG that I am here. Twitch.tv/. I think it's all good. Okay. I'm gonna check one more time. It did say that our stream health was excellent. But we did tempt fate by acknowledging the bad luck. Okay, looks like we're good. Everybody good? Everybody sitting well? The Wi-Fi card isn't in there. No, I didn't think so. That's okay. I would have, like, crashed my whole computer if I did that. It wouldn't make a difference. LAN is best, yeah. Cool, cool, cool. I should have taken that time to pull up seed ticks. Yucky! Ewy! I'm only going to look at these for but a moment because they creep me out. So this is purely for helping us see. Do I have... Okay. Okay, cool. Thank you everyone for your patience. It's been a while. It's been a while since we glitched out. Janet, thanks for following. Good here. Okay, good. Thanks for sticking with me, guys. So here, so as we were talking, if you just got here, if it started to lag during my little story, I was covered in ticks. They were really, really small. At first I thought they were like pollen. So the area we were in New Jersey in August is actually when seed ticks are at their most abundant. So this is what a seed tick looks like, because there has been a discussion about whether or not these were seed ticks or not. And so this is a seed tick. Small as fuck. Is this not my finger? Really, really, really small. Really, really, really small. Look at that motherfucker. We gotta go to the skating rink. It's true, we gotta go back to the skating rink. This is what my shit looked like. Oh god, not secure. This is what mine looked like. It looked like this. They were everywhere. And my hands have freckles on them. So I was having such a hard time seeing them because my hands are covered in freckles. And seed ticks, they're not completely black yet. They're like light brown. They're basically the color of like a freckle. When this happens, we call it a tick bomb, as in mom. I just got tick bombed. So seed ticks kind of live all together. It looks like this shit. I've never seen this website before. Oh my god. Yeah, a lot of people said I could have used a lint roller. Yeah, they look like this. They look like little fucking ugh. Oh, this baby. So there was kind of a big discussion about what kind of bugs these were. But we were in the right area for we were in the right area for them to be seed ticks. A lot of other people also said they were seed ticks. My one friend hit me up and said he was in the exact same area last week, and that same thing happened to him, and they were seed ticks. So I am going to say they are ticks, and they're really small. They're seed ticks. So I live in Pennsylvania. I was in New Jersey. You might not have any experience with seed ticks. Just regionally. But it is much better as well to assume that they are ticks versus fleas or whatever, because ticks can have Lyme's disease. Let's get rid of... Here, this is... They were kind of like this one. Like a little more... Well, that's kind of the color of a freckle. So they were kind of like this. They can get this big, for sure. And, like, in Philly, I normally see this guy. I kind of... Back, like, in the woods, kind of where I grew up, I was more familiar with this. And we would check for these. I often see these ones in Philly, and I think this is the one I had experience with yesterday. Okay. I made a flower arrangement for a celebrity today. I'm still in shock. Oh, hell yeah. Long pants tucked into long socks, spray down with DEET spray. Light colors are better to see ticks. So I will say this, and my cat people might understand. There are some fabrics that really hold on to cat hair. Even if they're both cotton, I feel like maybe there's just some way that fabrics are processed. Like, I have a pair of black leggings that attract a ton of cat hair, and then I have a similar pair of black leggings that don't. The trousers I was wearing on Saturday are one of my, like, cat hair attracting pants. John didn't really have a ton of ticks on his pants. I was covered in them. I think it was a lot easier for them to grab onto my trousers just because of the fabric is just a little more rough. Yeah, and so John and I were both wearing brown pants, so it wasn't completely obvious to us right away that we were covered in ticks. Like I keep saying, it kind of looked like pollen, so it wasn't until I really looked, that I saw that they were moving. So, as it goes, I ran into this puddle and washed all of my shit. And I was just, like, naked. I was just fucking... I didn't give a fuck. I did not want this. I felt like I was in the middle of the woods. But at the same time, I was just much more concerned that I was covered in ticks that have Lyme's disease. So I just stripped down. Because I had a long sleeve and a hat on, I did keep my, like, the shirt I was wearing, the t-shirt, and it was a Beastars shirt. I bought it oversized, but just the way Stream keeps jumping ahead for me, weird. Should we refresh stream? Should I close it and start it over? Can I get a poll? Should I just... Everybody's here, I feel bad. Okay, everybody... Huh. I just paused it and hit play and it seems okay for now. I refreshed and it quit jumping for me. I refreshed and it helped. Okay, everybody refresh. And I am so sorry. It does look like it's about to start pouring rain here, so it might be a storm issue. Okay, everybody hit refresh. It's okay, Queen, it's not your fault. Everybody refresh. Refreshing helped me. Okay. Didn't have an issue since the first time. Okay. The tick wants to silence you. I shouldn't have talked about the bad luck. Big Tick is fighting the stream. Should I restart stream? I feel really itchy now. Seems better at the moment. Okay, okay. So I was covered in ticks. I was able to keep my t-shirt on, which I ordered oversized, but it was not oversized like I thought. I was like, oh, like a little Billie Eilish moment. My, like, I would say the, like, sunset of my ass was, like, still out, which is probably why John was so mad. But the other thing is, I feel like if you drove past a bunch of people just frantically removing their clothes and, like, kicking sand all over their shit and washing themselves in a puddle, you would probably assume an emergency happened. Ass out in the woods is fair game, IMO. Yeah, that's what I thought. So I was just getting busy. But John kind of held on to his modesty. Despite coming on my stream so many times topless, John didn't take off his pants or shoes. So he was like, he walked into the puddle and he got the cuffs of his pants wet, but he didn't take off his pants. And he put his shirt back on. I was like, I checked my body, and the hardest part I had was getting the ticks off of my hands, because my hands are freckle hands. I have a bunch of little tiny freckles on my hands, and they were the same exact color and size, and they were getting into the webs of my fingers. But I opened up all my fucking toes, and it was kind of easy because I could just kind of get rid of them like this. So I was like just getting rid of them like this, just shooting them into hell. But I got them off of my legs and toes by washing myself in that puddle. But John didn't undress, and I mentioned this. So we got the fuck out of there. I put all my wet clothes in like a plastic bag that was just bouncing around in the Bronco. And in my mind, I was like, it's good. I have an oversized t-shirt on. But I also didn't have shoes or socks on, so it didn't really matter. So I put Walmart in the GPS because I was like, we got to do something. This is an emergency. And also John wasn't reacting as quick as I was. But it's fair to say I was freaking out. More like covered in bugs freaking out. Like I was super skeeved out. And I'm sure just talking in a pitch just like at a very high octave. So I was super skeeved. But I was like, we have to move on to the next thing. We can't sit here any longer. We've addressed the problem. We've worked on a temporary solution. But John wouldn't be naked. But boxers, I don't know. So John kept all his clothes on. I was kind of like, girl, you see what I'm doing? I put Walmart in the GPS, but as we're going down the street, it's a kind of a rural, suburban area, leaning towards rural, farmlands, protected wooded areas. We're driving, and before we get to Walmart, we hit a Tractor Supply. If any good old folks in the chat can describe Tractor Supply, I've only been to Tractor Supply to help my grandparents get birdseed, and it was a very like I need to be the coolest person in Tractor Supply right now moment. Tractor Supply is kind of like Home Depot meets, I don't know. Does anyone, what Tractor Supply is a chain store, but there's not a ton of them. They're usually in rural areas. You can buy a lawnmower there, but you can also buy like Carhartt pants. You can buy birdseed there. But you can also buy like butterscotch. Tractor Supply has every single farm food and equipment you could need, including actual tractors and clothes for old people, no disrespect. Sometimes they sell baby animals. I would be naked and afraid in those woods if ticks got on my clothes. Literally no shame. Home Depot meets pet store. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Tractor Supply is like the Walmart for farm supply. I feel like men are less comfortable with showing skin in public than women, especially their legs, because they're covered most of the time. It's true, John doesn't wear shorts. So we're looking frantically for a Walmart or something, and we're about to drive past a Tractor Supply. John, into Tractor Supply. I'm not gonna lie, fully prepared to put my long sleeve around the waist. You know how when you're wearing something kind of short, but it's not too short, but you give yourself a couple inches by doing the flannel around the waist? You're like, this is kind of short, but that's good. That's the last inch I needed. I was ready to do that, even though my fit was outrageous. I was like, I'm covered in bugs, and I'm never coming back. So I don't care if Cecil sees a little ass crack. I need deep. Now. Also usually smaller than Walmart. Yeah, it's kind of a small store. I've only ever seen it standalone. It's not as big as a Home Depot or like a Petco. It has like the ass cut off at the end. I can't think of a store that it's kind of the same size of. It's like the size of a Walgreens. It's like the size of a CVS. We roll up to Tractor Supply, and John is a little upset that I am so naked. So I'm ready. Get out. And he's like, no. He puts all of his clothes back on and goes in to Tractor Supply. Also, all the shelves are dusty as hell and smell like hay. Oh, I'm dead. You really have to serve when you're in there. You have to be the coolest person there. John came out of Tractor Supply with bug spray, like 100% DEET fucking. And then he got some, like, in a aerosol with, like, a fucking skull and crossbones on it, tick and flea spray for upholster, like fabric. So I guess if ticks got on your couch or some shit. John was dead up about to spray that on his shoes and pants and wear them. And I was like, can I read that? And then I was like, yeah, you can't do that. You can't do that. I forgot to mention, when we're first in the woods and we realize it's ticks and I fucking go and I hear John far away like saying, oh yeah, it is ticks. John goes, can I have your hand sanitizer? I have a spray one. We also sprayed ourselves all over with hand sanitizer, which has alcohol in it. So once we noticed they were ticks, a moment later we sprayed ourselves all the way down with hand sanitizer. Not 1,000,000% effective. If it killed one or two, cool. And if it created a barrier between them and us, cool. We did do that right away. That may have saved us initially. I forgot to mention that. That's kind of important. So I did have spray hand sanitizer that I sprayed my whole self with while we were, like, escaping the woods. That I sprayed directly on my pants, directly on my shoes. So John from Tractor Supply got DEET bug spray. And I sprayed my whole self with it. Neck, face, arms, legs, and rubbed it in. I sprayed it everywhere. John sprayed it on his clothes and legs, and I begged John to take his pants off for the drive home. But he wouldn't drive barefoot, which I'm telling you I love it. I think it's illegal. I think if you get pulled over and you step out the car and you're barefoot, no, I think that really doesn't help you out. I'm pretty sure you can't drive barefoot. Oh, but I love it. I love driving barefoot. Oh, you like curl your toes over the pedal. Oh, it's so menacing. I begged John to take his pants off, but he kept his shoes and socks on, his original shoes and socks from the moment. I always drive barefoot. Oops. I couldn't physically or mentally drive barefoot. It gives you a closer connection to the machine, like I'm in Eva. You curl your toes around the pedals and scream. A closer connection to the machine, like Darling and the Franks. You drive with your ass. If I have slides on, I'm always slipping them off. So he wouldn't do that. We were like an hour away, but we sprayed ourselves down proper with DEET. I was feeling a little bit better about everything because I had double, triple checked and I didn't have any of them on me. I think I did a pretty good job getting them off of me in the fucking puddle. And then the DEET spray, the bug spray, I kind of had a feeling that it was too late for the bug spray. Like, the bug spray would prevent them, but not kill them. You know what I mean? I didn't know, but what else? You know what I mean? So, I still doused myself in that shit. And I think it was okay. When we got home, John sprayed our shoes with that, like, toxic fucking bug spray, and then put the rest of our shit in the washer. I ran upstairs and took a shower, and just, like, combed the shit out of my hair and just wash myself with Castile soap, Dr. Bronner's soap. Just fucking wash and wash and wash myself. John took like a casual shower. I mention this because after our showers and stuff, I fucking even quarantined his little towel, wash that shit. Afterwards, John was laying in bed and there were still ticks on him. We pulled like 5 or 6 ticks off of John. And at that point, we had to use tweezers. Like, when we were in the woods, they weren't attached, so I could really just flick them off. John was still covered in ticks. I think it's because of his hesitancy to take off his clothing. Because the ticks are so small that they're just in your clothes. You know what I mean? And his hesitancy to take off his clothes. John was also shirtless in the woods, where I was fully covered. We both had hats on. I am Queen. Thanks for following. Not in your bed. Yeah, so I stripped the bedding and put that shit right in the wash. New bed vlog, basically. So we were pulling ticks off of him. It is satisfying. It is satisfying. Show socks and I'll donate $50. You won't do it. It's kind of a fit. I'll show it. Your move. Where's the coin, Queen? I'm so itchy. Socks were shown. This community shows socks. Pay her. Wikifeet incoming. We're all waiting. I'm dead. I love this community. Ban of no dono. Ethan's feet, though. Aww. I am Queen real silent. I'm dead. Better be entering that car info. I was hoping that was the donation. I'm dead. Yeah, I made a doctor's appointment, but I can't get to the doctor. The soonest appointment they would give me was like 2 weeks from now. I guess I could go to like an emergency clinic, right? Urgent care. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking that. Dono or ticks? Oh my god, I'm so itchy now. I'm covered in ticks. Do it better safe than sorry. Yeah, so I made the doctor's appointment, and I can get in 2 weeks. I looked, and I don't see any tick bites, but I had, like, I don't know, my legs are always, like, strawberry legs. Like, they always kind of have some red dots going on, so I'm a little worried about that. I'm so itchy and I haven't been outside in a few days. I know, I'm covered in bugs, I feel. I think, if anything, I'm worried about John. Was this before you cleaned your house? Yeah. Dante, thanks for following. That's it, release the ticks. I wonder if they're even here. I don't know how to check who's lurking. Ad time. Thank you, Oswin. I'm gonna run an ad. Princess for the sock fund.
Fund XOXO the QCKND community.
Thank you. Sea Queen, that was your job. You had the princess do it. Tisk. Rick is no!
I will chip in to get you what you deserve for those fly socks.
Thank you. I'm fucking dead. John ate those bones that made him immune to the ticks. Probably. Oh my god, I'm dead. I'm gonna run an ad. Oh my god. Now we know, except dono first, then show sock. Yeah, I messed that up. Oops. Looks like it's about to rain. A Billie Eilish ad. What if you didn't have any socks? I'm always wearing like slippers or something. Oh, it might not rain. I think it's just overcast. 50% up front. I should have. I learned a lot of lessons here today. Yeah, so as for my tick bite, I did make a doctor's appointment and I can't get in for like 2 weeks. Which I feel like is a little bit of a long time.
Tell us where you got those corgi socks, Mom.
They're, like teddy bears. Oh, you can't really tell. I got them from AliExpress. What is going on?
You deserve compensation from the ticks.
Thank you, Ashley. Oh my god, I'm dead. Thank you. I'm fucking dying. I saw the bones at the mall and had to practically fight my BF so he wouldn't get them. What is in the bones? What is in the bones? Just tuning in during lunch break. Hello, everyone. Thanks for being here. Have John store a lint roller in the Bronco. I'm never going in the woods again. What is the bone discourse? So bone is a type of hard candy. Oswin!
Sock justice.
Thank you. That's right. Oh my god, thanks. Thank you. Woods are canceled. Bones. Do you remember when you were a kid there was a hard candy shaped like different fruits? There was like a banana and an orange. Stuff like that. Bones are the same candy, a variety of colors of little bones. Like very cartoon looking bones, not like a fucking rib cage.
IAM Queen could never.
Inu! You menace. I'm dead. They're the spooky version of runts. Yeah, they're like runts. Yeah, don't go into the woods anymore. All I was remembering was the freaking cicada killers attacked you last year. Yeah.
Get some ultra thick socks, my friend.
Thank you, Hype. I'm fucking dead. Thank you. Yeah, these today are like sheer socks. Full Metal Mary, thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you for the 2 months. Yeah, I actually forgot, but last summer I was bit by a cicada killer. Sammy, thanks for following. I was bit by a cicada killer, and in the comments, everybody told me that cicada killers don't bite. And I was like, then I made this all up? For what? So, think of a cicada. There is a bug bigger than a cicada called a cicada killer, and it has a stinger because it uses it to kill the cicadas and eat them, I guess. Let's look up what it looks like, because it is quite a hot dog. Now let me look at the chat to remember how to spell cicada. Puffer Smish, thank you so much for the gifted. Aww. Besties. Let me see. Here's more bugs. Everybody look at bugs today. Looking at bugs.
Goodbye outdoors.
Canned ghost. That's for real. From now on, we're only experiencing the outdoors in the game The Forest. That's it. So this is a cicada killer. I'm pretty sure this is like a YouTuber who gets like stung by bugs for like fucking to tell you. There's like a pain scale. There's like this nut-ass scientist who got stung by a bunch of bugs. So he could create a pain scale. This is a cicada killer. The one on top, the orange legs, and it has a fucking stinger on it. It'll sting. See this like piece of poop? So it'll sting you. So last summer I was stung by a cicada killer 3 times on the leg, on the ass, and I think my upper leg, but that was the 3rd one, so it wasn't as bad. But the one on my leg, my lower leg, like my shin, was so fucked up. The sting was so fucked up and scary. We got stung in the woods looking at a train bridge. Why does this man put me in the face of danger for dumbass train bridges? I don't understand. This happened last year around this time because John was looking at a train bridge. I'm gonna fucking freak out. I'm gonna get ice cream. Enough of this. This is a cicada killer. Stung the shit out of me. Let's see if there's a picture of the sting. Yeah, let's look at some wounds on here. Oh, this girl got fucked up. Where's my picture? I'm the 4th person ever who's ever been stung by it. Oh, this is the guy who gets stung by bugs so he can create the pain threshold scale. He's cool. My shit was like a bullet hole, for real. My shit was so crazy. I wasn't in the news. That's a wasp. Like, no one gets bit by these, so no one believed me. Everyone was like, girl, you got bit by a scorpion. I was like, no, I didn't. And when it stung me the 3rd time, it was still on my body, and I grabbed it off of me to throw it, and it was a whole hunk. It was like I grabbed, like, a whole shit. Like, a whole thing. My whole hand was full, is what I'm trying to say. it filled up my whole hand. And then when I threw it, it like had weight to it. It wasn't like a little bee. I was like, ugh. It was like a fucking... Yeah, so that was actually last year. Like around this time. I was attacked by a cicada killer. And it didn't heal for like 6 weeks. And then at like the 2 month mark, when I was like posting fit pics and people were still like, girl, I see your bug bite. You gotta go to the hospital. It all worked out. It got better and I didn't seek treatment. So as far as bug bites, I don't see any yet. I have one bug bite here. You see that? I don't know if it is a tick bite or a mosquito bite. Because when we were on the river trail the other night, I did get bit by mosquitoes. So, I don't know. I'm gonna check John. He is the #1 culprit for probably has been bit by the tick. I would really like to shave his legs. I doubt he'll let me, but I think if we could shave his legs, I'm so itchy now. I think if we could shave his legs, it would be better. Then we could really get a good view. There is an episode of Scrubs, my favorite show. There's an episode of Scrubs where this guy comes in and they can't figure out what's wrong with him, and then JD, I don't know, is like, wait a second. And they shave his head, and in the back of his fucking dome, there's just this big oozing bullseye, because he has Lyme's disease, and they couldn't figure it out. And JD figures it out, because it's a TV show. So I'm like, we have to shave John's whole body. My brother pushed me into a wood wasp's nest to save himself. Wow, death. Yes, Kathleen Hanna got Lyme's disease that way, from being bit by a tick, or on her head. Yeah, I have to shave my whole head. It sucks because I'm covered in these tattoos, and that is just another thing. I can't see a lot of it because of the tattoos. Like, some people were saying if you have Lyme's, you'll get a red ring around your bite. And then other people were saying if you have the red ring, it's too late. Yeah, I'm looking for bug bites. There's only the one I know about, and I don't know if it's been there. Because I was bit by mosquitoes the other day. I know, I'm fucking dying. Being bit by a tick, yeah. Now my whole body's itchy. I'm dead. Was it House? Because I was thinking of Scrubs and couldn't remember that episode. It's the episode, so the guy comes in with a little boy, and he's like a cool single dad, and he's like, something's wrong with me and I can't figure it out. And they do all these tests on him and can't figure it out. Everyone is saying this one medicine that I should get on quickly if there's a chance I was bit by the tick. Can you buy that medicine or your doctor gives it to you? I'm pretty sure Justin Bieber got Lyme's disease from being bit by a tick on tour. Oh my god, I'm dead. Let's change gears. Let's switch gears, y'all. I'm fucking creepy crawly. I think Avril Lavigne had it. Yeah, Justin Bieber has Lyme's disease. Somebody help him. All clowning aside, I definitely encourage you and John to go to urgent care to get it checked out. Yeah, I should have stressed. See, I was on the phone, and I was like, oh yeah, 2 weeks? That's cool. Has to be prescribed, please go today. Okay. Ay, ay, ay. So that was, my weekend.
Labor is entitled to all it sucks.
Thank you, Sebi. I'm dead. Thank you. I literally had a nightmare about being covered in ticks after your Instagram. I'm so sorry, everyone. Let's switch gears. I have a haul from Hot Topic. I am doing their back to school collaboration, and I just got my package. 2 things are missing from the package, but I thought maybe we would open it together. I got one of those fucking little backpacks, those like lounge fly backpacks. You may have a collection of them at home. I don't have one yet, so I wanted to check that out. I ordered the Beastars shirt, which is in the wash right now, so can't show you that. Quack, tell us about your tweet about someone hacking into your Forest game. Okay, yeah. Friday, I was playing the Forest without Jano. Thanks for subscribing. No, it was Saturday. I was playing the Forest without Bolognius on our save game, which I've done before. I've played on our save file a few times. I don't do much. I mostly like build our camp. But I was playing and it was almost dark, and because I was playing by myself, I didn't want to risk it. So I was in my cabin waiting for my little sleep. You have to wait for your sleep gauge to like fill all the way up before you could sleep again. But it was still so dark that I couldn't do anything. So I was just waiting in my cabin, and all of a sudden somebody runs past my cabin, and I see their little name, and it was like King Netherland. So I see this guy jump into my campsite and like run, and then run out that like stupid back door we have in our campsite. So I crouched so he wouldn't see my name, and I just freaked out and exited the game. It was funny because I was gonna post to my Instagram story like moments before, but I was too freaked out that you probably can't see this. So you can't really see this. A rabbit had glitched into our pond and was running around the pond and just stayed. See that like running around? It's a rabbit, but it's inside of the pond in our campsite. So I already felt like my game was kind of glitched out anyway. I was like, that's crazy. And when I went and killed the rabbit, like, it gave me a rabbit, but it was stuck underwater. Yeah, so when a player crouches, you can't see their name. So I didn't know if he was gonna come kill me or just fuck up my campsite. I've heard it's called griefing, when you just go into somebody's server and fuck everything up. So, not me joining, thinking you were talking about IRL, not the game. I'm dead. This sounds like the beginning of a creepypasta. Oh my god, I was back here horrified, and when I play that game by myself, I'm really scared. So that dude just like jumped into my campsite, and I was like, no. But I checked around, and he didn't fuck anything up. But also, I could have just not saved. So everything is okay with that. Colonialism strikes again. I'm dead. I wonder if your session code was visible in the game as you loaded it. Yeah, I'm not sure. I really couldn't figure it out. It made me stop playing it, though. I haven't played since that day. Maybe Valonius will play with us tomorrow. Here is my Hot Topic box. I would plug Loot Crate right now, but they sent me a duplicate box. I was gonna do a giveaway, but the t-shirt is size medium, so I'm just gonna give it to my brother. So no Loot Crate haul as of right now, but I just got a notification that something's at my PO box, so it might be the newest one. I did email them about it. The Loot Crate right now comes with a bonus acrylic stand. Like, this is an acrylic stand. It comes with a bonus acrylic stand of a character from Fire Force, which is a manga I'm reading right now and I really like. But it's like a bonus. You add a bonus to your Loot Crate. So I emailed them and I was like, may I have the bonus? I have a lot to say about Fire Force. They haven't gotten back to me, but... So the theme of this haul is... Quack, let me know where you got your jacket from. So this is from a store in Harajuku that is called AC/DC Rag, like the band AC/DC, and then rag, like I wash myself with a rag on a stick. So it's called AC/DC Rag, and it's from Japan, so you have to get it imported. I think they still have this. They had a licensed Evangelion collab last year. So might be sold out. I've seen it on Depop, but kind of expensive. Ooh, I'm interested in starting Fire Force. Yeah, it's really quickly it grabs you. And I think the character designs are really cute. And like right away there's like titty. So you're like, oh, okay, titty. Zachariah, thanks for following. So this is my back to school Hot Topic haul. I had this vision for kind of like college back to school, with a couple different items. And one of the items I picked was, so Hot Topic sells manga now. Only a few number one, like volume ones. The splash page on AC/DC Rag has so much going on, it hurts my eyes. Yeah, just be careful. Like, this hoodie is digitally printed on, so, I mean, windbreaker. So the inside, oh, Jesus. Dude, hold on. The inside is kind of cheap. It's kind of cheap. Like, this isn't fleecy. You know what I mean? Like the windbreakers from the 90s. But you've bought, like, digitally printed clothing before. You'll be alright. We didn't see it, we're not looking. Thank you. So, oh my god, what are we focusing on? So, Hot Topic sells manga now. Not like a full bookstore's worth. They sell like 9 manga, and a lot of them are just volume 1. And then volume 19 of Promised Neverland. And then I think they have a Naruto omnibus of 1, 2, and 3. So you couldn't like grow a manga collection. Same with Spencer's. Robbie and I were at Spencer's and they had some manga there, but almost like your starter manga. Like you would pick it up to get into it. Like getting candy at the cash register. It's just like volume 1 of One Piece, and then you'd have to go somewhere else to get 2 and 3.